What up guys, this is Kelvin and welcome back to my channel where we discuss financial wellness, mindset therapy, and real estate. In today's video, we're going to be talking about student loans. And I apologize for any viewers who may have kids in the room. I should have given you a disclaimer before I used that curse word. I'm going to tell you guys how you can truly get help with your student loans and then also how they impact your credit scores. Stay tuned. Chances are, if you went to college, you are most likely carrying student loan debt. And this is because in America, the number one most common debt is student loan debt. According to educationdata.org, 4.9 million Americans owe a total of $1.5 trillion in debt. Additionally, they each owe an average of $36,510 in federal loans. Typically, student loans are structured to take about 10 years to pay off. In reality, statistics show that the average American takes about 21 years to pay off their student loan debt. And most people feel like they will never, ever pay off their student loan debt. Forever. But this just simply isn't true. And I want to tell you right now, that's probably a bad mentality to have. But before I dig into how you can get student loan aid, let me first explain how student loans impact your credit scores and how it can be the deciding factor between you getting approved for a home or other large purchases. But first, let me explain how student loans work and how they impact your credit scores and also your ability to get approved for a mortgage and also funding for yourself or your business. As it pertains to your personal credit, the first thing I want to tell you is that student loans are installment accounts, which just simply means you have agreed to pay back a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time, aka according to your repayment terms. And yes, before you ask, student loans can be removed from your credit report. So if you do have any student loans that have been transferred, paid off, defaulted, but are still showing on your credit report as a negative item, please reach out to us at GreenScale Credit. Schedule a free consultation by clicking the link in the description below, and we will gladly help you get that taken care of. Now, there are two different types of student loans that you can have, which is private and federal student loans. Private student loans are most popular at private colleges, which is where the college has their own lender that will provide you a personal student loan that you will most likely pay back while you're in college. On the other hand, federal student loans are actually backed by the government, and they give you, the borrower, a lot more repayment options, and most importantly, financial hardship programs, some of which may not be available to you if you do have a private student loan. So there are several differences between private and federal student loans. The first one being, with a federal student loan, there are no payments due during the whole time that you're in school. So your first payment would not be due until you graduate or leave school. On the flip side, with private student loans, you will most likely have to pay while you're in school on a monthly basis. In terms of interest rates, on the federal side, you will have a lot more favorable fixed rates at a low cost. Meanwhile, on the private side, you're most likely to have a high interest rate because they have a lot of different variable interest rates, which would not be in your favor. Now, one of the biggest differences between federal and private is most federal student loans are subsidized. And this just simply means while you're in school, the government will pay your interest until you're done. On the other side, with private, there is no one paying your interest. So your interest is occurring the entire time that you're in school, out of school, no matter what. Now, additionally, on the private loan side, you will have to have good credit or at least decent credit history to even qualify for a private loan. Now, on the federal side, there is no credit check required at all, which is a lot better than having to have your parents co-sign for you if you were to go the private route. Last but certainly not least, on the federal side, you actually get tax breaks and tax credits for paying any interest during any given year. Plus, you also get the potential of having your student loans forgiven. Now, of course, on the other side, with private, unfortunately, there are no tax breaks for paying any interest. Then it's also highly unlikely for you to have any student loan forgiveness programs afforded to you. Now that you know the basics of student loans, I need you to know that having student loan debt is not a death sentence. You can and will, with the right attitude, pay off your student loans. And in most cases, your student loans can actually help you build and maintain a positive credit history. This is because 35% of your entire credit score is based off of payment history. 15% of your credit score is also based off of your length of credit, meaning how long your account has been open. And then also 10% of your credit score is based off of credit mix, meaning how many installment accounts you have versus how many revolving accounts you have. So as you can imagine, if you have many different student loans per your semesters, having exceptional payment history and keeping those in current status is vital to your credit health and your current credit scores. Because when you add all that up, that actually equates for 60% of your total credit score. So again, making sure your student loans stay in current payment status is extremely vital to you having good or bad credit. Now, here are two ways that you can actually ensure that your student loans stay in good standing. Number one, if you have student loans, you want to make sure you explore the different payment and also repayment options available to you. Number two, if you do have a lot of student loans, you want to make sure you consider consolidating them into one payment. This makes it a lot easier to repay because you also aren't being hit with all these different interest rates because you'll only have one loan for your entire time that you were in school. And to be real, for most of us, being on an income-based payment plan may be the best situation for you. And this really can be the difference between you being approved or denied for a mortgage loan to buy a house, because this will impact how the loan underwriters will view and calculate your debt to income ratio. Now, the great news is we at GreenScale Credit have actually partnered with student loan survivors to make sure that we can assist you in figuring out exactly what it is that you qualify for in terms of student loan programs. And then we can also help you figure out the best ways to resolve your student loan issues. Student Loan Survivors offers a very wide variety of student loan aid programs. For example, they can help you consolidate your student loans. They can show you what income-driven and income-based payment and repayment programs that you qualify for, because depending on your situation, you could actually have monthly payments as low as $0. School closure discharge. So for example, if you went to a school that has since shut down, they can actually check to see if you may be qualified for 100% discharge of your student loan debt for that shut down school. If you had a federal direct, federal family education loan, or a Perkins loan. They also offer public service loan forgiveness, which is the PSLF, which is where you could possibly qualify for having the remaining balance of your student loans completely forgiven if you've made 120 consecutive qualifying payments, which is equivalent to 10 years of exceptional student loan payment history while you were full-time employed. Now, as if those services weren't enough, they also offer total and permanent disability programs, teacher loan forgiveness programs, student loan rehabilitation, wage garnishment aid, and last but not least, tax offset aid. So if you are interested in finding out more information about this Student Loan Survivors program, or if you just need help and want somebody to talk to and try to figure out whatever student loan issues you may have, All you have to do is, yes, go down in the description below and go ahead and schedule and sign up for your free student loan consultation. These are great people. I wouldn't have partnered with them if I didn't believe in their service and seen all their testimonies and know how great of a service they provide. Now, as always, if you did find anything in this video helpful in any stretch of the imagination, make sure you give your boy some love by giving me a like. Go ahead and comment if you are and if you have any experience with student loan forgiveness programs, just to kind of let everyone out there know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and student loans can be forgiven and worked out in a way that you can afford them, get those issues taken care of, and eventually pay them off. Also, make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed this content and you would love to see more as I become more consistent with putting these videos out for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or night, whatever time of the day it is. And as always, thanks for watching.